and one of them is the embedded software industry where I am working. So since I wanted to go into embedded software industry, so I selected my courses like that. I chose only the compulsory modules from the other two, like image processing and the circuit design, and chose the optional module which will help me in my career. For example, like I took advanced embedded system because that gives us a lot more aspects about the current embedded topics and current industry happenings which is happening in the industry. So I would suggest like pick your own path, and based on that you decide to choose your optional subjects.
Well, what is your take regarding this, Khalid?
Actually, for selecting the optional modules, it depends a lot how you want to gather between the industrial and the academical parts. From ACE perspective, you need to have a huge basic understanding to the automotive technology and its basics and so on, as well as the technical deep skills. For example, a subject like the software driven modeling. So you need to go take this a step further and not only base your career on the basic sciences that we have learned already. So this is how I was at that time selecting, and this will come later why it's important.
What are the challenges? This is also one point that we are not here to just talk about what went right. We are also here to discuss about what usually does not go right, or what are the challenges which we all face along our journey in masters. So maybe now we are already at you on this. What are the challenges you faced?
Okay. So for me, actually, one of the main challenges is what do I need to know in order to be qualified for doing the job, and this is really raised from what Dr. David presented, and then comes the why part. To be qualified for industry. So, of course, related to my field with the huge competitive market, but much more, what is my field's market already? What kind of skills, tools, processes I shall master? In addition to what I have already, do I need to master everything in details related to our master's program? What tasks would be assigned to me to perform, and how to be sure that I'm able to do the job in the right manner, or rather than just being a single task performer? And as said, what is my market already? And for me, the answer to all of that was to be efficient in the way I learn. Gathering all the information and mastering everything in details wasn't always good. I might waste your time a lot for doing the actual job. So you have the basics that you should master, and then you really need to pick up the deep technical skills for the related job. But again, who defines the basics? To be realistic, it's the market, and it's dynamic, changing, and competitive. So for ACE perspective, if we are speaking about the automotive software engineering perspective, it's crucial to have the basics of the embedded software development, to learn the concept of reading the specifications of different, let's say, chips, for example, or different subsystems, in addition to the programming languages and tools. Moreover, it's very, very important to deep dive into the embedded software architectures. And maybe we would have more time to discuss these things in detail.
We never have more time.
in the networking, in the cafe.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I know that Khalid and Yusuf, you were from the very start in software engineering, embedded systems, so let's just say it's kind of one relatable domain. But Hassan and Ra, you were in micro nano, you were in functional, so this is completely different, but you guys are also working in somewhat similar fields. Maybe first starting with Ra, because I'm sorry I didn't ask you before, some inputs on this. So how was the transition? Is it okay to make transition? Is it because many of us think I am making a profile in this domain and now I cannot switch and the whole industry is moving and you have to be agile at sometimes. Can you make such a jump? Can you make such a transition? You are so.
Yeah. While doing my course, I decided to study in mechanical engineering. Then I study about which area mechanical engineering is a really big field. I decided to lightweight structure. But at the end, I realized to getting a job in lightweight structure, I need some technical knowledge as well as language proficiency should be very high. So, what kind of technical knowledge? Like simulation knowledge or CAD knowledge, designing, and also I need some like consultant skills, communication skills. So my course is diverse, really diverse. So I decided to focus on consultant or planning area, but unfortunately our university have less opportunity to do this. I decided to other universities like University of Brandenburg. They have some really good opportunity to learn more about planning, consultant, and ERP knowledge specialist. So I took some courses. It's a little bit different. Actually, it's completely different from my current course, but it's not tough as we are really familiar with our current technology and getting certifications and language proficiency if it's okay. If you have basic communication skills, then you can get a job.
But this all was during your masters or
Yeah.
after your masters?
While doing my master thesis, I am focusing on looking for job also. Unfortunately, I can't make it. I can't get any proper response from any companies. I decided to move on, and in 3 to 6 month planning, you can do if you really want.
Okay.
So getting a certifications at the same time, you have to improve your language, and then.
So this is then also important that we need not to just focus on our degrees, rather we need to understand how the industrial environment or research environment is moving. We need to understand what is the hot topic right now in research or what is the very well open job profile in industry, so that to provide skills for that.
While looking for job, I look for advertisement also. In every advertisement, there is some common skills they need. Maybe kind of like communication skills, but what is communication skills? So we have to learn some management skills, but it's not theoretical thing, we have to learn practically. Also some ERP knowledge they told about, but where I can learn, there is no idea about from the university. So there are some university, they provide really good skills and also some knowledge about ERP. We just have to grab it, that's all.
Thanks.
Also, we need some really basic communication skills in Deutsch.
Yeah, also to language will come always, this is always a factor that we really have to put ourselves into learning language. And German being a part of the whole journey. I would also request you guys, you can use the QR code to scan and to put your questions if you have. We can read them out and then also ask them directly. Now, Rahat, you did this along your journey. You did it along your masters. You realized that the degree which you were doing is not something where you can secure a high-paying job and you develop the skills required. But Hassan, you did something different. You were, I would say, you were leading in your research. I think you had publications in US also, and you were doing your research, and then you switched after some time after your masters. Can you share some light about it? How was the transition? What was the reason?
Yeah, since my master course was mainly research based, so there is very few options to go into industries, even if the job market is very small. So I wanted to go into industry as a semiconductor engineer or as an integration engineer. But I knew this was a challenge, so I wanted to continue in this, to do applied research for research in industry. However, it was difficult, and then there was COVID as well, so that made it even more difficult. Then I decided that I need to reevaluate my career path. As many people feel that it's too late once you are in professional industry or you're in research, then going back to becoming a student is a bit challenging. So I decided I would go into industry. So for that, to go into industry, I need certain set of skills. And for that, I decided to go with a boot camp with programming. So I used to do programming in my research, for the analytics. So I decided maybe this is the most relevant one for what I can pursue my career in. And this was what I found was in this boot camp, there were people who were 50 years old, 30, 40 plus years, and they were professional people. They left their job and they decided to change their career. And that also helped me realize that, okay, if they can, then even I can do it. And another thing that helped me in this transition was that you meet a lot of people that actually help you in growing or expanding your professional network, which you cannot do otherwise through online, through LinkedIn profiles, or because they don't know you. And this was one of the crucial step for me to take. It was difficult because it's financially as well not easy. These boot camps are